that stimulates child trafficking in China.
Yeah.
But also in other countries.
So they pay and they take those children from them?
Yes,
and then
not always, but it is at a structural level in China that children, that the directors of children homes pay for children to get them into the system of inter-country adoption.
So when they pay, when these directors pay for these children, what do they gain from it? Are they going to resell, or they have to traffic these children now to make more money?
Well, no, the children are going into the system of inter-country adoption.
Okay.
And when a child comes into inter-country adoption, in China the directors or the children homes get $3,000 for the child who is going for inter-country adoption.
Okay.
And what they are doing with the money, well, I'm not sure about that, but sometimes the children home benefits from it, but sometimes the directors benefit from it themselves.
Yeah.
Or, for example, the local officials benefit from it.
Yeah.
So there is a quite money-making system around country adoption.
Wow.
And that stimulates child trafficking.
Yes.
And for me, what I wanted to do is to do an investigation.
Yeah, you made mention of that.
Yeah, in China. Yeah. Because I was not sure about the background of the children, so I wanted to do an investigation in China. Yeah. Because, well, it gave me 3 good nights. Yes. When I tried to do that, our Ministry of Justice has forbidden that.
Yes, you wrote that. I read it.
And not 1 time, but 3 times they say to me, if you are going to investigate the background of children in China, we will withdraw your license as wereldkinderen.
Can you believe this?
Times. Well, I was shocked. And
yes.
I tried to get it on paper, but, well, of course they wouldn't do that, because officially spoken, they cannot withdraw my license. What they said is, when I asked why what is the
reason?
Yeah, what's the reason? They said, well, because of lack of cooperation with us, we can withdraw your license. So when I wanted to investigate...
So were they somehow supporting this corruption? Because they wouldn't support you to investigate, to know how these children come, and to know the backgrounds of these children. If they wouldn't support you, then were they supporting the corrupt system?
Well,
because it's obvious, if you do not support the right way, then there must be something behind. Yes. Why would they threaten to withdraw your license?
Well, I think that you have to think about the macro level. I think that the Dutch government cannot afford itself to blame the Chinese government. So I think a lot of economical reasons behind it.
Really?
It's the same reason that human rights are not having a high priority at the agenda between the Netherlands and China, for example. It's the same reason.
So how did that make you feel?
Well,
because knowing fully whether you have passion for children, and then now you are being hindered to operate in the manner you would have liked to give these children safety, and also to have very free conscience that what you are doing was right. Yes. So how did you feel when your own people, Ministry of Justice, supposed to support you, they're supposed to back you, they're supposed to be there for you, and now they threaten you?
Well, for me it was very difficult, and well, at least, at the end, I decided to resign as director of Wereldkinderen, because I couldn't bear the risk anymore. It was too high risk. And the ministry puts the economic interest before the interest of the children.
Yes.
That's what makes me very sick.
This means that there's corruption everywhere.
Yes.
There's corruption everywhere.
In the Netherlands, also in China, in Kenya, in Ethiopia, you can see it everywhere. And this is stimulated by the high demand of adoption children. And I think, well, nowadays I'm so far that I think inter-country adoption has to stop.
Yeah.
It has to stop. Yes. I think in the 70s when inter-country adoption began, it was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was good in a certain sense.
Yeah.
I think children have the right to grow up in their own country.
Yes.
In favor by their own family.
Yeah.
If there is poverty in a country or in a family,
yeah.
then we have to solve that problem and not take the children away from that country to another country.
That's your philosophy. That's your school of thought.
Yes.
You feel that it's not. I also think it is very good that we give the children the privilege of, being adopted in other countries, because so that they can become better citizens. After all, they did not bargain to be born in those poor countries. And then we are aware that many African countries or third world countries are very poor. So adopting children from those areas, for me, is like helping the younger generation instead of being uneducated and some of them dying because of lack of care. Then somebody that is rich somewhere can give a helping hand, bring them to the Western world, and give them the basics, and give them education, give them, help them to have good health, so that they can become good citizens, not only for that country, but also for the world as a whole. Because when you give a child good education and you expose a child to a very good environment, then that child has the potential of becoming somebody very prominent. But in the third world countries, they don't have that opportunity. So if we stop the inter-country adoption, then many children are going to be hindered. And many children may die. Because the case of poverty cannot be solved within a twinkle of an eye. Even here in Southeast, there is also poverty.
Well, I think that's one side of adoption, and that's a good side, I think. But I really think that you have to solve the problem in the countries themselves. You have to take care of good child protection, of good education, good health care, and you can, as a Western country, you can support the developing countries.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think the way we do it right now, helping the developing countries, is not a good way.
Okay.
We have to stimulate trade in developing countries. And on a local level, that's my philosophy.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have to take children to the Netherlands, for example, to raise them. No, we can support financially the parents in developing countries. We can take care for good education in developing countries.
Okay.
I think financial adoption is a better solution than inter-country adoption and having the children to the Netherlands. So, yeah. But I really believe that there are good things also as inter-country adoption. The system became
very correct.
sick.
Yes. So, you might mention that some of the children who were placed for adoption were kidnapped, or they were taken away from their parents because their parents couldn't pay the fine for having more than one or two children. How did you find out this corruption? So they were kidnapped.
Yes, well, I have evidence from an American researcher. I have heard it myself. I cannot mention names because then maybe these people will become into danger. But we have contacts in China also who have confirmed this. But there is a lot of evidence. I have it on a video also. The directors themselves, directors of children also in China, are confirming this. They are paying for the children. And that's against the Hague adoption consent. They are not allowed to pay for children from the Hague adoption consent. There are about 70 countries worldwide who have signed the Hague adoption consent. And one of the main rules is that these countries have to take care of their own children, and they have to see in their own country if there are adoption families for these children.
Okay.
So first they have to look for adoption families in their own country, and only if that is not possible, then children may go for inter-country adoption. And for example, China has enough Chinese couples who don't have children of their own and want to adopt also children. But
the children are going
to, for example, the Netherlands or America because these organizations pay more for the Chinese children than Chinese couples. And you see it everywhere in the world. It's Ethiopia also. What happened in Ethiopia, for example, is that children who were abandoned, the judge in the court put in the file of the child that the parents were dead.
Yes.
But they were
alive.
They found out that they were alive. So everybody is involved in this kind of system.
You know, it's all I got it.